For centuries, the jungles of Central America hid one of history's greatest mysteries, the ruins of the ancient Maya. Towering pyramids, intricate carvings, and abandoned cities lie silent under the canopy, raising a haunting question. How could a civilization so advanced simply vanish? The Maya were not a simple people. They built sprawling cities, studied the stars with astonishing accuracy, developed a complex writing system, and left behind calendars more precise than those of Europe at the time. Yet, by the year 900 CE, many of their great cities were deserted, their temples overgrown, and their once mighty society had collapsed. Today, we still ask, what really happened to the Maya? The Maya civilization thrived in present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. From around 250 CE, in what historians call the Classic period, the Maya reached the height of their power. They were master builders, raising temples, palaces, and entire cities without iron tools or the wheel. Their pyramids rivaled those of Egypt, and their cities, like Tikal, Copan, and Palenque, bustled with tens of thousands of people. The Maya studied mathematics and astronomy with incredible skill. They calculated solar eclipses, charted the movements of Venus, and even created a calendar system that stunned later scholars. They invented a written script of hundreds of glyphs, the only fully developed writing system of the Americas. This was not a primitive society, but one of the most advanced the world had ever seen. And yet, by the late 9th century, something went terribly wrong. City after city was abandoned, trade routes fell silent, palaces and temples crumbled without maintenance. The population plummeted. The great Maya heartland, once thriving with culture, innovation, and power, fell into ruin. But why? The mystery has fascinated archaeologists and historians for decades. At first, European explorers believed the Maya had simply disappeared, wiped out overnight. But research reveals a more complex story. The collapse was not sudden, but gradual, unfolding over generations. And it likely wasn't caused by just one factor, but a storm of interconnected crises. One leading theory is climate change. Studies of lake sediments and cave formations reveal that the Maya heartland experienced a series of devastating droughts between the 8th and 10th centuries. Without reliable rainfall, crops failed. Maize, the staple of the Maya diet, could no longer sustain the population. Rivers and reservoirs dried up, and famine spread. For a society that depended so heavily on seasonal rains, a prolonged drought could be catastrophic. But drought alone does not explain everything. The Maya were skilled engineers who built reservoirs and canals. Why could they not adapt? Here, another factor comes into play: overpopulation. By the peak of their civilization, the Maya may have numbered in the millions. Cities grew dense, farmland expanded, and resources became stretched thin. As populations soared, deforestation and soil exhaustion weakened their ability to produce food. The environment was pushed beyond its limits, and when the drought struck, the system collapsed. Still, there was yet another layer: war. Archaeological evidence shows that during the final centuries, Maya city-states fought increasingly destructive wars. Unlike a unified empire, the Maya world was made up of rival kingdoms, each vying for dominance. Carvings and inscriptions tell of kings capturing and sacrificing rivals. Walls and fortifications sprang up around cities, signs of growing fear and instability. As resources dwindled, warfare only intensified, turning neighbors into enemies. A fragile society, already strained by hunger and drought, tore itself apart through endless conflict. Religion also played a role. The Maya viewed their kings not just as rulers, but as divine mediators with the gods. When famine struck and the rains failed, faith in those rulers may have crumbled. People lost confidence in their leaders' ability to protect them, and the political order dissolved. Priests and kings who once commanded loyalty could no longer maintain control. The collapse was not just physical, but spiritual and cultural. By the year 900 CE, many of the great southern cities, Tikal, Copan, Palenque, were abandoned. Jungle vines crept over temples, and silence replaced the chants of priests and the bustle of marketplaces. Yet, the Maya did not truly vanish. Their descendants survived, adapting to new ways of life, and they are still here today. Millions of people across Central America proudly trace their ancestry back to the Maya, keeping their traditions, languages, and heritage alive. The collapse was not the end of a people, but the end of an era. So why does this story still matter? Because the Mayas' collapse is not just ancient history, it is a warning. A thriving civilization, advanced in science and culture, undone by climate change, environmental strain, and political conflict. Does that sound familiar? Many historians point to the Maya as a lesson for our own world, that even the greatest societies can fall, not with a sudden blow, but with a slow unraveling from within. The ruins of the Maya still stand, haunting and magnificent. From the towering pyramids of Tikal to the mysterious ball courts of Chichen Itza, they remind us of both human brilliance and human fragility. The collapse of the Maya civilization was not the work of a single disaster, but of many forces combining: drought, famine, overpopulation, war, and the failure of leadership. Together, they brought down one of history's greatest cultures. And yet, the Maya endure. Their descendants, their traditions, and their knowledge survived conquest, colonization, and centuries of struggle. The collapse was never total. The mystery is not just why they fell, but how their legacy continues to inspire us. The Maya story is one of brilliance and resilience, a testament to human achievement, and a warning of how quickly it can all unravel. So the next time you see the image of a jungle temple rising from the mist, remember, it is more than a ruin. It is a question whispered across time. What happened here? And could it happen again?